Yo, hero. Yo, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the Jongravesshow. My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 17, or Episode 30. Whichever you pretty much prefer, you know. It's all good. This episode had a really good fight scene. I will give it that, though, because, again, like, I like staying as a villain. You know why I like staying as a villain? Because even though he does have, like, his quirk power of basically sort of, like, lapping up blood and kind of, like, paralyzing people, technically, he's not that different from Aizawa. If I technically really think about it, it's basically that Aizawa is just a hero whose only quirk is that he can cut off other heroes' quirks, and that basically he's a masterful fighter. That's what he does. But then you look at the hero killer, or in this case Stain. His quirk is that he has to cut you, then drink your blood or lap it up with his tongue, and you're left to his mercy. But this episode and also the previous one actually shows that Stain is kind of a beast. Like, technically, he kind of doesn't need a quirk. I mean, if he's basically just a Ninja Turtle, like, at this point, you know, like, if he's just a Ninja Turtle who basically, man, like, can dodge fire, and dodge Toad Roki's ice like a point blank range, and chop right through it, and everything, and almost slice his arm off, then technically, whatever, like, whatever you saying, man, like an all for one, or pretty much like you got engines in making legs, or I have elemental powers. None of that matters, because basically he can just run right past it and just chop you up, like, if that's the case. But again, this episode did technically show the smarts behind, or at least like Ida getting over his little revenge plot. Todoroki and Todoroki actually being smart enough to tell his father to come to him, like, once he has everything sorted out. We even went as far as to basically show Deku as basically a pretty cool combatant, and that also, like, he still needs to polish up all for one just a little bit, but you know, either way, it does end in a good way. Also, another thing too, I still don't understand how Stain can basically survive getting torched in the face, man, with a dang with fire, you know, which I guess it's probably low fire, but then again, like, it's still fire. Like, that's basically a flamethrower going off, like, in his face. He just walk that off, so, you know. But of course, this ends with them tying up Stain and everything, and then them leaving out, and then meeting up with, like, all the apprentices from, you know, the other thing, you know. So that's kind of where that goes. But it goes from that to now we have our little break and everything, which is what is Endeavor doing and what is Gran Torino doing. Those two are basically fighting off all of the Nomus, killing them and beating them up. Or at the very least, Gran Torino kills one. I believe Endeavor kills one and it injures the flying one. The one that flies off and grabs Deku at the end. Which, to be fair, the more that I swear, for that one moment, it was kind of the best moment, like, in the entire series for me. Not necessarily because Stain was beaten. It's not that Stain kind of like has this crazy ideology, or at the very least that is part of it. It's the fact that basically Stain is so endowed to his beliefs that basically, like, even though they quote-unquote knocked him out, you know, he still kind of took out like a dagger, took out a dagger and freed himself, and lapped up the blood of the Nomu and killed it, saving Deku. And basically, a lot of them were like, well, yeah, like, he just has him as a hostage now because, you know, he wants to get away. But like, that went against his modus operandi, for number one. And number two, he had the greatest moment when basically he saw Endeavor, because Because basically, you can tell that with him saving Deku and everything, like, that wasn't necessarily like him trying to find a hostage. That was out of respect. He respects Deku to a certain extent, maybe even Todoroki, but still, you look at Endeavor, and the second that he saw Endeavor, like, everybody felt this wave of murder, like, just go through the area, knocking them clean off their feet to basically the point to where that they couldn't even move anymore. And I guess that's kind of the difference between All Might and all the rest of these other heroes, is that All Might has fought that. All Might has fought a literal tyrant or a person who was so bent into their beliefs that he had to stop that person. I mean, hell, man, like, he has a wound on his body because of it. But that moment actually kind of showed that, yeah, like, what the hero Slayer Stain was saying is true. Like, these motherfuckers, like, they're not real heroes. Like, they're fearing for their lives. Like, they're not trying to stop him from basically the underdog. They're trying to stop him because he's a criminal. Like, that's their only reason. It's not that they don't. It's not that they're. Well, it's not that they're trying to do it to save other heroes, because if they were, they probably would have done a little bit better job, man, than what the fuck that they're doing right now. But as it stands, that is where I basically have to leave this one at, because I really like this episode, and I really like Stain as a villain, and I really hope that he comes back for more, because yeah, I understand that, like, you got, like, Mr. Scratchy Neck and, like, Miss Teleport. I know that they're harking, like, into the real villains, but Stain is a good opener of a villain who has promise and has a goal, even though it may not be the most just, but it seems like it. Also, on top of that too, like, I was kind of getting the impression that the main reason why, like, he really hates Endeavor is because Endeavor's not necessarily a fucking hero in his eyes, and Endeavor's only in it for the money. Unlike All Might, who doesn't have a company, he works at the school just helping students, whereas Endeavor, just like every other hero, they have business and they need to have all these sidekicks and shit. And All Might's like, I don't take sidekicks. I don't do this for basically fun or money. I do this because I want to help people. So, you know, that is something that I do have to admire from Stain, which does kind of make me like his character more. Even the fact that basically when one of his lungs was punctured by, like, his own rib, he just passed.